In March of 1999, camped in the Sonoran Desert in southern Arizona, I had a startling realization, and that was that my future would look much like my past if I continued to travel the road I was on. As the Chinese proverb says, if we don't change our direction, we're likely to end up where we're headed. In that moment of clarity and insight, I chose to give up cameras, lenses, and computers as tools in the creation of my photographic art. And in doing so, I gave up my predictable and secure life and surrendered both my art and my life to Providence. This piece, Mahogany Melange, is one example of this new expression celebrating nature through art. Since its first exhibition in 2002, the work has generated interest from all over the world. Since that time, we've received numerous inquiries, most of the time about what is the craft of making these images, how are these images made? And while answering that question won't deepen your experience of being with the work, I chose this opportunity to share my creative process through this video. First, a specimen is needed for imaging. Let's go outside and find our subject. Once I've considered my subject, I select the specimen that I want to image, remove it from the parent, remove a few distracting elements, and we're ready to get to work. So the first thing I do is I organize the subject the way I imagine it in my mind's eye in the finished piece. And I do this in visible light for the obvious reason that I can see what I'm doing. And once I'm satisfied with the basic aesthetic decisions, I go into total darkness. I take my 8x10 film, put it on the imaging easel, which is a single sheet of sheet metal wired by automotive spark plug wire to my 40,000 volt generator. I organize the plant on the film using the tried and true Braille method, using the sense of touch to get a sense of where the piece falls. I then overlay it with my window mat for this particular image. Last, I take a diffusion screen, in this case milk plexiglass, and overlay the entire exposure matrix. The last detail, a small detail but a critical one, I provide a grounding wire to the subject so when the electrical pulse arrives that it travels down the grounding wire in a safe way. We're now ready to make our exposure. I release the electrical discharge, which creates the ultraviolet corona around the energy field of the plant. And then I paint with fiber optic light, a fiber optic probe the size of a human hair. I select the areas of the subject I wish to image, and I very carefully and methodically illuminate those areas. It's what I call light painting. Photography is to write with light, and this is the essence of the craft, literally writing with light, leaf by leaf, until the exposure is complete. Once complete, the diffusion scrim is removed, the overmat is removed, the film is removed, and placed in a light-tight box for subsequent processing. And the whole process begins again.
Buelteman, through his unique, innovative use of technology, preserves in these works the ephemeral beauty of plants, visual metaphors for human life and accompaniments of its ceremonies. These images inspire, as have his black and white landscapes in the past, more than a little awe. Vitis vinifera. Trillium. Rubus ursinus. Populus tremuloides. Lupinus arboreus. Lilium. Japanese maple. Iris douglasiana. Eucalyptus polyanthemus. Delaria odorata. Cortaderia celoana. Cannabis sativa. Arroyo willow.